Hello friends, in this video I want to explain how to put together the 3 cards in the kit that you received as a contribution for the longest day. You should have received, with your $10, you should have received an envelope for the longest day. And it contains everything you need except for maybe some scissors and also some glue. I highly recommend using the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. It works well for this, and it also has a pen tip and a broad tip. The pen tip is a narrow tip that you need to be able to glue some lettering onto the cards. So hopefully you've got that. You can try Elmer's glue too. It should work fine. You just need a very fine stream of glue. So inside the packet, you will find there is a little explanation and a thank you for supporting this project for the longest day. And then there's also a trifold that shows the 3 cards that you can make using this kit and step-by-step directions. So keep that handy as you create. The first one we can make is the first one that's on the trifold. It's the thank you card. The 3 cards are a thank you card, a happy birthday card, and a sympathy card. 3 commonly needed cards. So for the thank you card, you're going to open up the envelope that has all the parts and pieces of your project in there to create this card. It also has the envelope that you can use to mail the card to someone later on. Inside the card base are all the materials that you'll need. There is, whoops, this is a little bit sticky because this is an adhesive. These are called dimensionals. And what they do is they can pop up different parts and pieces of the card to add a little more dimension to the card front. You should have the card base. You have a plain white piece of cardstock for the inside of the card. Since this is such a bright dark color, you'll be able to write your message on the white piece that you glue inside. There is also a piece of designer series paper, or DSP, that will be used for the card front, and there's also some cutout letters that say thank you. And this is in particular what you need that Tombow glue for, the fine pen tip end, because you're going to put some glue on the back of these letters, which is finicky, but it's worth it. Okay, let's start to make the card. You've got your card base and glue. Use the pen tip. And first we'll put the inside of the card. Whoops. All right, I squeezed too hard. There's a big glob of glue there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer some of the glue onto the back of the DSP. Don't need a lot. And that'll be enough to glue this on the inside. Okay, you want to center it so that you have even space around. You should have a little kind of frame around the inside piece to write. If these don't quite match up, what you can do is just refold it. Give it a little adjustment. You can take your scissors and score the side so that these do match perfectly. Okay, now I already put glue on the DSP. I'm just gonna make sure that I have a little bit on each corner. There's plenty on that corner. And Here we go. We'll adhere that to the front of the card. Another reason why I like to use this kind of glue is it gives you a little wiggle room because it's hard to, you can adjust the frame of the paper. And I definitely needed a little adjusting for that. Okay, the next piece that you're going to do is you can glue, and you'll notice that I have a piece of cardstock here, cardboard, you know, that is basically I'm recycling. And you want to make sure that you have either a piece of, good sized piece of scrap paper or something to make sure that you don't get glue all over the place. Okay, I've turned it over. I'm applying the glue using the pen tip. And you want to just lightly squeeze. You don't have to have glue everywhere, just some key places. And if too much comes out, spread it around. And I'm trying to put the glue on the thicker parts of the letters. Okay, this is a good one to start with because some of the lettering is even smaller and finer than this thank you. I make these from using a die and a Stampin' Emboss die cutter. Okay, once you've got the glue on, place it on the front of the card. I liked placing mine at an angle. And then you've got these two little butterflies that you can add. And you also have a couple of pieces of adhesive in here. And this is what you need your scissors for. These butterflies are pretty small. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the adhesive or the dimensional to a smaller piece and put it on the back. Hopefully I cut it small enough so it doesn't show. This shows a little bit, so I'm going to snip it. All you need is a little bit. There's paper on both sides. So one side, when I took off the dimensional, that released the paper. I'm taking the paper off the other side, and then I'll prop that up during in this dark part of the DSP so that it shows up. Now I'm going to cut another little piece of dimensional, and I'll cut this one a little smaller than the last one. Okay, I'm going to take off both of the papers and place the dimensional on the back of the butterfly. Pull off the other piece of paper, and then I'll put the other butterfly over here. And now you've got your thank you card all made. Simple steps. You can write your message inside. You've got your envelope to mail it off to somebody you want to thank. Okay, that's the first card. The second card is a birthday card. So this one is even simpler. Let me pull it out. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, now both of these cards have a white card base. And I want to make sure that I have everything out of the envelope because there are lots of little bits and pieces. This card might open up a different way. It might open up from the bottom. Okay, I cut some differently. And once again, these ends don't quite match when I scored it. So I'm going to adjust it so it's a little more precise. There we go. And maybe I'll make that the back. Okay, so you're going to have 3 pieces here for this one. You're going to have a happy birthday lettering. You're going to have some embellishments that are little pearls, and you'll have a piece of DSP, Designer Series paper. So, first step, get some glue on the back of that paper. And once again, this glue allows you to wiggle it around a little bit so that you can center it on the card front. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to, these letters are even a little thinner. Okay, so once again, remember, you're going to use your fine tip and just put the glue on certain places. You don't have to put it everywhere. Make sure you have some scrap paper down so you don't get glue all over your table or desk or wherever you're doing this. And you don't need glue everywhere. Just in key places. Squeeze very lightly so you don't have big gobs. Now, if you want to gather some friends together, and have a little party making cards. A couple of people mentioned they might like to do that. If you are a little bit unsure about how to organize this or have people create the cards, if you'd like me to come and help and bring the materials, I'd be happy to do that. If you get the kits, you supply your own glue. If you invite me to come and tell me how many, I'll have plenty of kits for everybody. And I'll even bring brownies. I'll also bring glue, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, here, and if you notice, this lettering, broke apart a little bit. So I'll make sure that didn't happen to yours. Okay, so you're going to place the lettering on your card, and then these pearls have adhesive on the back side of them. So you just want to place them on the card in a few different spots. And then you have a nice happy birthday card and a plain white inside so you can write a message to the person that you're wishing the happy birthday to. And once again, you have the envelope to send it or to give it. All right, the last one is the sympathy card. And again, all the parts and pieces are inside. This has a white card base. This one has a few more parts and pieces to it. It has a piece that is embossed. You can see that there are ferns, and I did that with my die cutting machine and embossing machine. And a piece of DSP. Here's a banner for the card that you're going to glue on the sympathy words. They don't show up very well against the DSP on its own, so I made a little white banner so they'd show up better. So first of all, let's take care of these letters. And again, you're really gonna just dot it in a few different places. This could get messy. The other thing that you can do is put this on top of a silicone mat, if you have one. I have one that looks like this, and it's good because you can just wash it and rub all the adhesive off, you know, if you get messy. But oh, there's a lot there. This isn't too much fun to watch, but I'm going to take off some of that glue or spread it around a little bit. And this should be plenty of glue to adhere this onto. Oh, also, I had kind of forgotten, and I didn't warn you, but there are some letters, or parts of the letters are going to overlap. So when you go to place this on the banner, hopefully this is still, you're going to, in the camera's view, there are going to be some parts of the letters that overlap. So don't worry about the top of the T and the H or the bottom of the P and the Y, because they're not going to show. Okay? And we can get this ready to add onto the card. You'll see that there are 3 long pieces of adhesive there. You can put one on one side, one in the middle, and one on the other side. And this will prop up the banner a little bit to give it a little more dimension and make it a little more visually interesting for the card. Okay, just set that aside for a minute. Now we need to take, you'll see that it's 2-sided. Decide which side you like. Different parts of the fern are raised according to what side you like. So just choose your side on the back, put on some glue, and then you're going to place it on the card front. All right, wiggle it around so you have an even frame. Yep. I really like the give of this liquid glue. It's much more forgiving than some other adhesives. Okay. If it's not perfect, don't worry. It's a handmade card. People understand that. Okay, then on the back of your DSP, or if you don't like flowers and want to use the other side, go ahead, go for it. But I do like these roses. And this is going to be placed centered. Okay. Then for the banner, you're going to take off the backing of the adhesive. And place that toward the bottom of the card. There you go. Now I added some embellishments here, and I'm just going to, I decided to put them kind of in a row. Stack them. You can decide where you think they look best and put them in a different spot if you wish. So the sympathy card is done. And you have a birthday card. and a thank you card. And you have my sincere thanks for purchasing the card kits and helping to fund the longest day. You making a difference. Thank you.